We're live. Right. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, Adam G. And of course, since I'm live again, that means either I'm doing a live commentary or about to interview an aspiring beauty queen. And for tonight, I'll be doing the latter again, as Miss Universe Philippines 2023 is, as you can see, in full swing. So I'm under time limit right now. So without further ado, here she is. I'm so happy that she's obliging me for another round of interview tonight. Please say hello to Miss Universe Philippines 2023 from Pasig City, Cali Navea-Huff.
Hi, everyone. Adam, thank you so much for having me back. And yes, this is kind of like our second interview, but the first time you caught me by surprise. So hopefully this time I'm a little bit more prepared and I can catch you by surprise a bit.
Tinat ko nung time na yon. Remember, you were
Ambush
already about to
talaga.
leave, but
Grabe. I was so nervous. So now I had a little bit of time to collect myself, a little bit of time to think about what I want to present to you all. So, okay, I hope to catch you by surprise this time. The tables have turned. Sure.
sure, go ahead, be my guest. So, yeah, wow, you look so well styled tonight. Considering this is just an online interview for
Well, it's an
my,
interview with Hey Adam G. Of course, I have to look my best.
I feel like you are already giving us your look for the finals night. I can already imagine you in your evening gown with that kind of hairstyle.
Adam, that's between us. Okay, it's between us and whoever's watching. So guys, keep it between us. A little group lang. Shh.
Kasi we're so used to seeing your hair down all the time, either straight or curls, but now, wow, for the first time, you put your
Well,
hair in a bun
actually, if
for
I could tell you
me.
why, because I'm still learning how to do my hair. I have two hairstyles that I personally know how to do. It's straight hair or bun. And so since you've seen me in straight hair na Adam, sabi ko, okay, let's do the one other hairstyle I know how to do. Bun na. Let's go.
Yeah, it suits you well pala, no? I didn't realize
Thank
it.
you.
The hairband could really look good on you as well. So, before this interview, I watched your her story video, and congratulations for that amazing, well-produced video. It's like you showed us, you toured us around the whole Pasig with your her story video. And what struck me in that video was when you revealed you some sort of experience violence and how it shaped you to where you are right now as a Miss Universe Philippines 2023 candidate. So I just feel, even if you just mentioned it in passing, it still struck us that, oh wow, na she's really, and then you relate it to our national hero Andres Bonifacio. So wow, she is becoming a heroine herself, forging
I
her
hope
path
to
here
be.
in
I
Miss
hope to
Universe
be my own
Philippines.
hero, truly, right? And I just want to say, like, since you mentioned the production, I was very lucky with such an incredible team, people that I never thought in a million years I would ever be lucky enough to work with. And so they were so kind. But yeah, touching in on that, it was very important to me that I kept my her story hopeful, because my story is one of hope, truly. When I was facing violence at the time, I really did think that my life was over. I really did think that I was worthless. And it took me a few months, actually almost a year, to really understand that I was so much more than that. And I have no qualms with the word victim, but I do see myself more as a survivor in every sense of the word. And I just want to keep growing, just want to keep learning and help other people that have been in that position, because that's really what pushed me to go to law school. That's what pushed me to encourage other people to find their voice, and not find their voice, but be empowered to use their voice. And it is a story of hope, and hope for myself, hope for women that have been in that position, as well as hope for the future generations as well.
Yeah, the hope and even the empathy that we feel for you because ever since we got into pageantry, all we just know about you is that you're a Q&A mentor for a certain pageant camp. But now we're getting to know you in a whole new different level for this pageant. So, I really feel, you talk about hope and then from a victim becoming a survivor. I think as we speak, you're really the type of candidate that the Miss Universe Philippines or any other pageant should have right now or need right now. You know what I'm saying?
I, I appreciate
Very
that. And
empowered someone
actually
who is not.
that's really why I wanted to join this year, right? Is because um over the past year, with the change in ownership, we have seen Miss Universe look towards a future of pageantry being about advocacy, being about change, and it always has been, but really pushing that, reminding everybody that that's what we stand for. And I have been very lucky to be put in positions and really take opportunities to be that model for change for other people, and not just in my life, but in the different talents I've had as a soccer player, having sports clinics. When I was in UP and I was on the student council, we were always looking at different ways that we could bring the community together. And even as a law student, I've been very blessed to give so many gender sensitivity trainings, women empowerment seminars. And I've always thought, I don't know what my future looks like, but I do know that every little thing I do, I want to encourage people to look for the daily ways that they can create a genuine change. And so to have Anne recently talk about the force for change being the new kind of theme, I was like, wow, this feels like it's something that's meant for me. And I hope it is. And I'm of course working my absolute hardest to make those stars align. But I also know I could do the job really well if given the opportunity.
Yeah, and when we talk about your advocacies, it's not really something artificial or you just created for the sake of pageant. You're coming from a personal experience, especially when you talk about uh, gender-based violence or creating awareness about it, or even creating other important matters like LGBT rights, gender bias. So you're really education you are really definitely educating us about all these topics, especially we're living in a country where we have traditional and very conservative laws. So that's very what an eye-opening experience, especially at the very least from my part.
Thank you. And it's funny because people do see me as a mentor, as an educator, and I think in some ways I am, but I just really want to be a facilitator of a discussion, if that makes sense. I don't want to ever be
Yes.
lecturing on this is what you should think, this is what you should believe in, because everyone will have, their religious views, their family views, whatever it may be that influences their way of thinking. And I completely understand that. But we have to look at what are our core values. They should be respect for each other. They should be a willingness to look beyond our individual point of view and put ourselves in other people's shoes. And yeah, empathy, like you said earlier, and I hope to continue those discussions. So right now I have been very lucky to talk about laws that I think are very related to my advocacy, as well as what's so necessary to bring attention to. RA 9262, which is the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children's Act. I will be releasing a video soon on the Safe Spaces Act. And so to talk about laws, to talk about current issues in a way that I hope just facilitates that discussion, and to use this platform to do so, it's been incredible. And I hope with Miss Universe Philippines, and maybe one day with Miss Universe, that I get to continue doing that.
What does it mean for you to know changing people's mindsets and hearts with your message?
Um, I think what it really means is I'm just a, and I don't want to say this like I'm, just a random girl. I do feel like that sometimes. I do have that imposter syndrome of there's a lot of times in my life that I really felt like I was worthless. And I mean, even yesterday, I had that moment for like an hour, and you still feel like you're just you. You. What am I doing here? My background is nothing really special. My education, sometimes I feel like I don't know enough. So to use what I do have, the talents that I have shaped over time, the skills that I know I have, and to keep trying to learn alongside my community, alongside my supporters, and even my bashers. It's really nice to just say that I am I'm just like you. I have not had these amazing, incredible experiences that have brought me here. It's more of have taken everything that has come my way and learned from it and grown. And no matter your background, no matter your experience, no matter your education that you think you have or don't have, whatever it is, you have a perspective that is so necessary. And I've been very lucky that people are willing to listen to that and willing to accept my perspective as one that's valid, because I think it is. And I know that it can be as well for the org.
What are those learnings that you were referring to? Learnings you learned from your supporters and even from your bashers.
Well, I have been very heavily bashed for my weight, for my body, for even how I look, my face. And I think what I had to learn from that, and I'm still learning. I'm not going to be like, oh, it was completely, I'm totally fine. I feel great. I do still struggle with my self image, probably more so now that it's an image that's displayed on a national platform. I had to relearn that my value is not based off of how I look. It is a way to get my foot in the door, absolutely. But what I have to offer the org is my heart, my purpose, my voice. And I think that's what they'll truly value. And we as women often feel that way, that we are only going to be able to succeed in life if we wear the right clothes, if we have our makeup styled the right way. But that's just not true. We are growing as a society because of the different perspectives we have, because of the different talents we have, and not because of the way we look, but because of what we can truly bring to the table. And I've really had to keep reminding myself that. And I think that's important as well, is to tell people like I'm absolutely confident, but that doesn't mean that I have only great days.
Did you already anticipate this kind of reception coming from pageant fans, that, there would be some fans who would really be into you, and then there would be some who would really be, still meet you with a lot of cynicism?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not naive in any sense of the word. I knew what was coming, and I'd seen it myself for 3 years. So it was not a complete shock, but what it was I you don't really know until you're in that position, right? You really feel that for yourself.
Yeah.
And when it happened to me, when the first photos started coming out and people were saying, oh, she's not even that beautiful. Oh, she's so big. All I could think of was, I am beautiful. First of all, I do see myself as beautiful. I do see myself as fit. I mean, I was a national athlete for 8 years. I was a UAP champion. I am fit. But what it reminded me was people are, especially Filipino pageant fans, are so passionate. And I think we are very lucky to feel that passion in the best ways. So we should also kind of feel lucky that they care enough to want their representative to continue improving. And so what I took it as was a challenge. Okay, you might not think I'm fit now, but this is a long pageant. I will keep improving every day, not because you said that, but because I know in myself that I could keep pushing. Absolutely. So, in a way, I have been blessed to challenge myself in that way and even feel challenged by people.
There's something that we could derive from what you just said because you're being bashed for how you look, for the body image that you are projecting UP for your first ever national pageant, and they talk about they negate you for something that you are so good at, which is sports. I mean, though for championships when you were leading your varsity team back in the day. But for us pageant fans, as a girl, I'm just really, I'm it's just dawning on me how sometimes we could be so myopic with our views when it comes to how we view women and categorize them in certain gender norm realities, like they're bashing you for your body image, for your being an athlete, for your athleticism, when if we put that or if we talk about the same thing in relation to how men are performing, it's all good because we have the Olympics. There's always men are always all about showcasing their physical prowess or ability to to go and achieve excellence through sports or in any kinds of way. Whereas for girls like you have to look a certain way, especially if you wanna, especially if you wanna join a pageant. Like there's a
Yeah,
certain
and I
body
mean, not
image that
even
you
just
have
in
to
the pageantry
project.
world.
Wait,
Yeah.
so do you see the disparity? So I feel like, wow, yeah, there's really, as I realize it now, there's really a huge gender bias among everyone in the world right
Absolutely.
now, not just in beauty pageants, but probably outside of it. So, have you thought about why, we cannot be at par with men when it comes to, at the very least, at this one, showcasing their physical prowess, whether on or um many people from around the world will definitely watch the Olympics because it's a measurement of excellence. It's a gauge of how men perform vis-a-vis their competitors from around the world. But um when women are about to do the same thing, people already conclude, okay, it's not a healthy image of what of an accomplished woman is all about. That she should be something else apart from
Yeah.
joining beauty pageant.
And
So you know
like you
where I'm
said, also,
coming
it's
from.
not just in the pageantry world. It's I mean, as an athlete, I really did feel that because even at the top of my game, a UAP champion, and I remember all these, interviews coming in because it was the first championship that the UP women's team had ever won. And it was really a blessing to be put in that position and talking about representing my school, about my journey as an athlete. And at that peak, I was running with the men's team every afternoon. I was running I was probably within the top 10 of the runners for the with the men's team. I was practicing with them. I was training 3 times a day, and all people could ask was, um, oh, you're Filipino American. Oh, you're white. I love the way that your mascara looks. I love this. I love that. And I'm just thinking, why are we focusing on how I look right now? Shouldn't we be asking questions about my talent? Shouldn't we be asking questions about how hard I worked, how hard the team has worked,
Yeah.
and what the girls had to go through to get here? And no matter where you are, I think it's a reality that you will be judged at first for how you look. But once you get past that, once you start to look at truly what they offer, that shouldn't matter anymore. And all the girls are beautiful. I wouldn't say, oh, one person's more beautiful than the other, because beauty is so subjective. And my idea of beauty is so different from yours, Adam, is so different from whoever's watching. And so there's never going to be the most beautiful. All the girls are gorgeous. So now we have to take a step beyond that and say, what do they have to offer? Because every single person here, Miss Universe Philippines, is literally some of the most beautiful girls in the Philippines. So, what do they have to offer besides their beauty? Because they've gotten to this point now. And so now we're getting to know them more. And I hope that not just for me, but for all the girls, we start looking at that and looking at how they look just with a lens of kindness as well.
Yeah, especially when you talk about it, we have to look at it from the lens of kindness. And I think also, if we start engaging with one another, I feel like, especially when we talk about gender bias, I think one solution that we could address that issue or that topic is probably talking to one another with empathy, like how we are doing it right now here. Because I feel if we show empathy somehow, especially to girls like you affected by this issue, it will some sort be like an antidote or a solution to the bias, to the growing bias.
Agreed. And like speaking of the gender bias, I was actually very lucky that last week I was given an opportunity to talk about gender bias and to talk about manifestations of gender bias in education, in the workplace with Pasig City. And when I was talking about it, one message that I really wanted to share was that sometimes it is unintentional. We do not mean for us to have it because it's so ingrained in us. We have that idea that if you are playing, or if you're running really fast, that you're running like a boy. If you are really strong, you are strong like a boy. If you are wearing, if you're wearing Doc Martens, you're dressing like a boy. And we have those ideas of what men should do, of what women should do. And sometimes it really is unintentional. It just is something we're taught at a young age. And so it's important that we, yes, look at it through a lens of empathy, but also make sure that in the next generation, they don't have to unlearn these things. They don't have to constantly call each other out for this. It can just be a place that is automatically more inclusive, automatically more accepting because they weren't taught anything else. And so it's important that we just look at the different ways that we can already talk to the next generation about gender neutrality, about the importance of going after whatever career you want, whatever passion you have, regardless of your gender, and not really limit people right away, because I'm unlearning a lot of things as a woman. I have to remind myself every day that as a woman, it is okay if I wear sneakers, if I wear blue, if I decide, if I all those things that are kind of placed on you as a woman, and you still have to remind yourself, like, no, it's fine. I'm a I completely embrace every aspect of my femininity, even the aspects that are considered masculine, right? And we have to do that as well for the next generation.
Yeah, listening at you, nga no, gosh, ang laki talaga ng there's still so much we need to learn when it comes to addressing this issue, especially, when we talk about all these people coming from different walks of life. Like, um, I figure, di ba katulad, we can't put stereotypes or box people just because from the way how they look or how the way they act. Like, you can't be gay if you're not, if you're Muslim. Be a mom if you don't know how to multitask, or you can't be a man if you cannot be a man if you're a stay-home dad. You know what I mean? There's just so many to chatter, and especially in this day and age when labeled by how we look, by our gender, by the relationships that we nurture, the status quo that the status quo that we have, how we describe ourselves is something that probably excessive. Do you think we could probably label if we could define people in addressing this issue? Where
Adam, I'm so sorry. I think it was a bit of a lag. Do you think that we can? And then I cut the rest of it, kind of cut out.
do you think do you think do you think we can do you think we can uh do you think uh we can stop putting labels on these on how we define ourselves for us not to you know to exacerbate this problem, be the cause of the problem itself?
Yeah, and I think what's so great about label. Let me just take the devil's advocate position for a bit. What's great about labels is that they make sense, right? Everyone wants things to be organized, but people are so complex. They do not fit into one box, into one word, into one idea. And I mean, even Catriona Gray said it herself, women are multifaceted. We are so unique, and we have to celebrate those, but infinite, diverse, and just unlimited amount of possibilities for women, for men as well, for people of all genders. And I would just hope that we think about, it doesn't have to be easy, but it should be authentic to them. It should be realistic.
Yeah.
And labels, while they are easy, they can also be very limiting, right? And I wouldn't want a girl to think that just because she's a woman that she has to have a child, that it's expected of her. And like you said as well, that people who do have children, that they have to constantly be multitasking, that they are less of a mom if they're focusing on their career, or that they're less of a feminist if they're focusing on their children. While it is easier to put labels on people, it also is unrealistic. It's also very limiting. And it's also failing to recognize how complex, how unique every single person is. And we have to allow people to celebrate that, to celebrate their uniqueness, to realize their full potential. Because our society can't really move forward unless we allow people to embrace their perspective, embrace their capacity, and use that in moving us forward.
So what you're saying is whether we talk about gender bias or LGBT rights, for you, assigning labels is not a good thing. It lifts a person up. It
Oh, yeah,
holds them
I
back
sorry, I heard the
instead.
question there. Well, again, because labels can be very easy in terms of limiting people, but also some people might want to use labels as a way to identify themselves, right? As a way to show who they are. And especially with gender, it can be very powerful to kind of take certain words back, or to say that as a queer woman, as a queer man, as a trans person, they're taking that back, taking that power for yourself and saying, this is who I am. I am living authentically. So while certain times stereotypes can be limiting, labels can be limiting, they also can have great power in identifying who you are in a world that sometimes doesn't let you be who you are.
I now get probably why labels exist.
Yeah.
Defining ourselves in this society, it's probably for us to belong. in a community, because it's important for us to resonate to people, certain community for us to fit in. And if we don't find that group of people that can identify, I think that's the term, that can really uh,
Resonate
identify
with
with
you.
us, then we're gonna be probably lost in this world, or we won't fit in this world.
Yeah.
What
And
do
no,
you
and
think
I
about
think
it?
it's important to like realize the two different sides to it. Yes, like when I say I'm part of the queer community and you hear other people also say that and you find each other, that's amazing. But also, that label shouldn't be restricting on you. Just because you are queer, you cannot do this. Just because you are queer, you should do this. That's when sometimes labels can be restricting. And I think there is great power in claiming who you are, but also it should never make it feel like it is an obligation or it is a lifestyle or it is only one way to live. So I would hope that at least in putting labels on yourself or putting labels onto other people that you also celebrate the infinite possibilities of human beings.
True. I like what you said. Infinite. What did you just say? Infinite celebration of human beings, right?
The infinite
I like, because
possibilities.
yeah, yeah, because when you talk about it, my understanding of what you just said is that no people should hide from something they're so very proud of. Because the thing is, especially for people like me who have been hiding in the closet, it's really refreshing to see like personalities talk about it, you know,
Adam, I'm so
we are
sorry.
being
What?
told by our conservatism.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hi. As I was
I'm
saying,
not sure who's lagging, but you were just saying that those who
from
are like you as well, who was kind of forced to live in the closet for a while, that you were being forced to.
yeah, yeah. So for those people like me who have been living under the closet, so we find girls like you very encouraging, very supportive, very refreshing as they confidently and bravely talk about it, encourage us to talk about topics that have never been discussed, because we are always being told off by our conservatism. So in a way, from your experience, as I try to win down this interview, how do you think we can find courage in opening up, especially if you're coming to fight for your LGBT right, for your rights, if you're coming from the LGBT community, that you won't be labeled as a misfit, that you're just as human and normal, just like everyone else.
I think in finding that courage, you also look at the people before you, because when they are allowed to fully be themselves, they shine, they thrive, they are able to really find success because they're not holding back any part of themselves. Honestly, I became an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community at a very young age, even if I didn't know it yet. I'm not saying I was already organizing seminars or anything like that, but I was always asking questions. Wait, why are you saying that? That doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why I became an advocate at a young age was because I saw my uncles, I saw my titos, I saw relatives, friends who were part of the community, and people constantly telling them, don't show that to my daughter, don't show that to Callie, don't. And I was just, why? What's the problem? He's in love. She's in love. And everybody's telling you not to do this, but you're still looking at each other in such a powerful way and such a loving way that nothing else should matter. You're being authentic to who you are. And even when I was like 6 years old, I found that so moving and so powerful. So I would hope that those that are still trying to find the courage to fully be themselves remind yourself that living authentically is an incredibly brave thing to do, but it's also a reminder of how strong we as human beings can be, how amazing it is to be a part of a community that chooses to love even when so much hate is thrown at you. And I would just really hope that people that are struggling with their identity or struggling with anything that makes them feel that they're limited know that when they are authentic to themselves, they can really thrive.
Amen. You know, for the longest time, I thought the reason why you're so open about it is because of your lineage. You know, when you have this Western upbringing, you tend to be more liberal with your views.
Oh, Adam, oh my gosh. I don't know if my dad is watching, but he's probably laughing so hard because I grew up the exact opposite. My surroundings were very much conservative, very much so. And it was always something I had questioned, always something I had was very confused about. And there's nothing wrong, I think, with having those different that different point of view, but it's just not something that I had aligned with. And not just in terms of LGBT rights, but so many things that in my schools, in my city, and even within my family, just not something I ever agreed with. And yeah, I don't know if my dad is watching. Dad, I love you. You know that we argue a lot. I adore you. You are amazing, but I probably am gonna get a call from you after this, and we're gonna argue again about something. We did not have that growing up. I promise you.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, listening at you, wow. Is there any question that you can't answer? There's a question here from
Adam, why do I feel like this is the
Pali.
question I can't answer? I really do struggle with Q&A. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's so easy for her. I have so many things going through my head at any given moment. And I just want to make sure that I choose the right words, not just for the people that are watching and so they feel heard and seen and validated, but also for myself because I want to try to do better each and every question. I want to try to improve, not just every day, but every single minute. I'm very hard on myself. So I there's so many things going through my head all the time, and it is Q&A. Of course, there's that pressure that comes with it. Being a mentor, but it is also a reminder of how powerful words can be, how powerful the lessons I have can be, and I want to make sure that every question I take that opportunity to share what I've known, to share what I've learned, and to share what others have given me as well.
That's true. You know, someone's asking here, how did you how did you become a Q&A mentor? Did you somehow uh got probably invited to be part of, and it's something that you eventually enjoy doing? That's why you are thriving in this industry right now.
Well, thank you for that question. I don't know, I can't see the comment, but whoever asked it, thank you so much. I actually was working at a human rights center in 2020, early 2020. And when I was working there, a lot of the work that I was doing was gender sensitivity trainings, women empowerment seminars. Oh, it's Palmy Kim. Hi, Palmy Kim. Thank you. Women empowerment seminars. And so, because I was kind of coming from that experience, the mentor who had taken over for Attorney Bronson after he left and went to the Miss Universe organization was Attorney JV Salud. And so he came on and he was the Q&A mentor. And so he had asked me for my help because I kind of had that experience in talking about women empowerment, in talking about gender sensitivity. And obviously as pageant queens, that's such a key part of not just your Q&A, but your overall messaging. And so I was very lucky that he asked me to come in and talk to the girls a bit about that. And we had a few sessions just on women empowerment, just on what their role is as leaders in their own right. And I liked it so much, I ended up just staying for 3 more years. So yeah, after he left, I was
So,
really blessed that Aces asked me to stay on and be the head Q&A coach, and I was like, okay, sure, let's just keep the ride going for another 30.
and you're really thriving and you're really enjoying so much of your. I wonder, how are you training yourself for this aspect of competition? Or do you ever still train for this right now?
Oh my
Or parang,
gosh.
okay,
Adam, I
you can
train all
probably
the
answer
time for this.
anything,
I'm so
one of your eyes
nervous.
closed.
No, so my Q&A coach now is the person that I brought to help me last year. So People Gonzalez, he's actually a journalist and he's taking his master's in UP Diliman. And one of the things that I've loved so much about his trainings is because, like I said earlier, like I think about every little thing. I'll think about how my hands are moving right now. Oh no, my hand's not relaxed enough. I'll think about, what word should I use for this kind of questions or these kinds of questions? What do I want to say with my narrative? And he asked me always, like, Callie, take a step back and think about the overall message that you want to bring to people. Think about your purpose. And it's very easy to lose sight of that over the course of a 3 month nonstop pageant journey. And so I've been very lucky that every single Q&A session that we've had, he's always reminded me, I like your answer, but you can do better, not just for yourself, but for your advocacy and for your purpose. And he constantly challenges me. So I have been very lucky in my Q&A trainings, and I'm still learning.
Oo naman, of course, no one is perfect. You still have so many things to learn. Just
Except
when you
you,
thought you can be
Adam.
very, oh, no, just when you thought, you could be, self-assured that you could really wing this, we see, of course, there is still so many things to learn, right? So, yeah. Oh, someone's asking here. I'm wrapping this up in a few. So, someone is saying here from Yuri, go, Kali. We can listen to you for days. And then that's excellent resume and her speaking ability, Gigi says. Okay, so another question from Palmi Kimi. Aside from Q&A, what portion of Miss Universe Philippines are you most excited about?
Oh, okay. I love that we're saying I'm excited for Q&A. I don't think I got that across right. I'm very nervous for Q&A. But yeah, nervous and excitement kind of go hand in hand. I think the portion that I'm most excited about is, oh gosh, probably the swimsuit round. I know I talked earlier about being bashed for my body, but there is something so powerful about the swimsuit round. And it's not about objectification. It's not about, oh, what do you look like? How is your body? Whatever. It's not about that. To me, the swimsuit portion has always been ownership and celebrating the female figure, celebrating yourself and taking that power for yourself. And I'm really excited to compete, not just for the photos and but also for the walking, because I want to show that I am proud of every aspect of me. And that's kind of what I wanted to do as well with my final screening outfit. I wanted to show my body already and I'm very proud of who I am. And with a swimsuit as well, to have that opportunity to do that again, to say that we as women, we are powerful not because we're standing here in a two-piece or a one-piece swimsuit, but because of our minds, because of our voice. And I think taking that power back for yourself is something that is incredible. So I'm very excited to compete in that.
And we can't wait. We can't wait for that. Kailan ba yan? Sa finals, sa prelims ka pa ba namin makikita in swim? Or will you be releasing many pasabog photos for that very soon?
Secret, Adam. Okay, just a few. Just
All right. So there you go. So no doubt, Kali, Dali, every time you speak talaga, we're all amazed by your gift of gab and so happy that you chose the pageantry platform to showcase your wit, talent, and smarts. And there, and at the same time eventually making a difference in everyone's lives. I mean, the topics that you would like us to really have more awareness, oo nga, no, is forcing us to really think about, or rethink about how we stand on these issues. And I think it has been a uh, it has been such a transformative experience listening to you right now. And I hope that if, as you forge on with your journey here in MUP, you'll be that whatever transformation, yeah, physical, that you're going through is something that will really go on with your life forever. So on that note, thank you so much again for this interview. Thank you so much for obliging me. It has been such a delight and pleasure to talk to you once again.
Thank you so much, Adam. And I'm looking forward to my own transformation. I really do feel like I've already been transforming, and not in a way that's just physical or emotional, but I think transformation is something that's it needs to be including everyone, and it needs to be a collaborative effort. And so I hope my transformational journey is one that includes more and more people. And I want to thank Yuri and Gigi for your kind words. I see you guys. Thank you so much for your love. And Adam, thank you so much for being a part of my transformational journey as well. I appreciate you.
Wait for mine. De joke lang. You're welcome. You're welcome, Callie. Girls like you should definitely be more highlighted, supported talaga, kasi you're forcing us to really rethink our ways, our mindsets, and how we think things, 'di ba? Iba talaga kapag ano, no, pag talagang intellectual talaga yung kausap mo, you're really being forced to really look back on how you view things. Yeah, yeah. That alone pala, you're
Oh my gosh,
already a
I was
winner
laughing because I was
because
like, Baron, I don't feel like an intellectual sometimes, but I appreciate that. Thank you for the love.
are you serious? For sure, if you will engage me on some more hard-hitting topics, for sure you'll definitely have a stand or say at the very least on
Well, you have to
those
remind yourself,
things.
Adam, that I'm always surrounded by lawyers. So I never really feel like the smartest person in the room. I'm just always trying to learn. That's my goal. But thank you for the love.
Does being a lawyer ba make up to be a good spokesperson? Or
I would say that it actually makes it considerably harder because you know so much, and because there is so much about the country that you see what we could do better, you see what's going on. It can also be harder in the sense that it's harder to humble yourself. It is.
yeah,
It's harder to take a step back and say, maybe I don't know everything.
mm-hmm,
Maybe there's another perspective that's also important and necessary.
worth
And I think
sharing.
because we have worked so hard to get that education, there's a lot of pride in that. And so you have to take that pride as well as that humility and kind of put those together and ask yourself, what ways can this help more and more people? And yeah, it can make it more difficult in my view.
Yeah, so there you go. There you go. As much as I want to talk to you longer, we're almost hitting 1 hour 40
I know we
already,
had our
going
last word,
overtime.
what, 5 minutes ago now?
And we just keep talking and talking. So there you go, guys. I hope you had fun tuning in with my follow-up conversation or interview with Kali Navea-Huff here, who badly needs our support in cheering for her candidacy here in Miss Universe Philippines. We should rally behind these women talaga who really stand for something impactful. Alam mo, who knows, after MUP, pwede ka na tumakbong konsehala ng Pasig. More doors of opportunities will open up to you. O kaya maging consultant ka na lang ng mga government agencies natin, especially when it comes to ano bang department nagfo-fall yung cultural gender bias and DSW, hindi culture,
Department of
ano
Social
ba,
Work and Development, DSWD.
DSWD, tama nga, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So there you go. So
Okay, at DSWD workers, at PCW workers, call me. Just
all right, so there you have it. Maraming salamat once again, Callie. It has been such a great time reconnecting
Thank
with
you so
you.
much, Adam. You know
Maraming
I adore you.
salamat.
Thank you for lending your platform to me and all the queens. And see you all soon.
Good night and see you soon. Take care. Bye.